Okay, good evening everyone, and welcome back to my channel, to my stream. And in advance, I encourage you to click on a thumbs up and subscribe to support my channel. So today we are going to continue our development of a small pet project related to some web development stuff, and I would like to make a small recap of what we have done before, because before this stream, by the way, that's the first stream on YouTube platform, and the other ones were on Twitch, but I've decided to move here, and so that's the idea of doing a recap of what was done before. So let me start just with my development setup. So as IDE, I'm using VS Code, as you can see on my screen. VS Code is a very convenient tool, at least for me, because I have been using this for several years so far, even at my job, at home, with some different plugins. So the general ones are like Docker, ES7 Gitlines, IntelliCode, and sometimes Pylons, because I used to write some code using Python. But for this stream and for this project, we are going to use JavaScript, and to be more concrete, we are going to use here Typescript language, because I really like strict typing. So that's for my IDE. For the console, I use CM Commander, so-called Commander. You can download it for free if you are interested in. So it goes Commander here. So this is the perfect example of the great console emulator for Windows. So definitely it is, because it supports not only like Git features, also it supports a bunch of Linux commands. So we can use here commands like ls, like I don't know, make dir, etc. Almost like it can be done in Linux systems. So as for the project, so I'm trying to implement a web crawler, and for this website liveatc.net. So in short, this is a kind of a collection of airport channels, radio channels, so where you can listen to some operators speaking with each other, with pilots, etc. And on this website, here is this list: top 5 the most chatty Live airport feeds from different places from all over the world. So it's like so here are 50 different channels, and most of them are situated at the same airport, but they have different channel names. So like in this example, so for Tokyo airport, here's some different channels you can see here, like RJTT tower, departure, approach, Tokyo control, etc. So the general idea is to parse this top 50 feed and make it and implement this feeds using React, Typescript, and some server-side scripting. That is why I've created two different folders here. This guy is for the front end, which is implemented in using React, sorry. And for the server side, here I used ExpressJS for our backend, for our parser. So what we have for now, so let's go. Okay, first of all, let's make two tabs here, one for the front end, the other one for the backend. So let's go to our front end, and here we go to our backend, written in JS also. Okay. So preliminary setup and initializing these projects you can see on my first streams. So I'm gonna not dive into these details today. So suppose we already have this set up and I did some job here already. So let's run our front end. Yarn start. Okay, let's go. Okay. This is our front end. Backend is unavailable since we have not started this yet. So let's go for our backend, yarn dev. It should work. Yes. So for the recap, let's start with our front end. So here is like a simple one-page application. It consists of like header, the list of our airport channels, top 50 feed, and we can select each channel and see this data, which will be used later, not today. So how it was implemented. So for the front end, as I've mentioned before, I'm using here React 18. For the state management, I use the library is called Recoil. This is a state management library instead of Redux, because so I don't like Redux, to be honest, for some reason. So probably I don't like Redux because because I found it very complex, and very tricky to use. So that is why I found this guy. So it's called Recoil. It's a very straightforward and simple library to manage global application state in React. It's a very simple stuff. And for so-called UI, so I'm not a designer at all, so don't blame me. But I'm using here MUI library for more fancier, like, you know, like buttons, radio buttons, etc. So for more fancier UI. As for the Node.js version, so here I use this version of Node.js. So go on. Here is one-page application. This is the section related to our UI elements. So it consists of header and main section. So main section is like a body, right? And here is a grid system. It came from MUI, and some of these elements also from there. So for this simple 2-column layout, I used here a grid system from MUI. And so here is the container, and here are 2 columns, like left column with a automatic resizing relating to the length of these names. So the longer the names, the wider this first column will be. And the second column is for our another stuff we are going to implement today. So at least we will try to do so. So what is happening on the left side of our application? Let's take a small dive into that. So the first task is to obtain the full list of this top 50 channels from from live-atc.net. That is why I've implemented this endpoint on my server, like /channels list. This is the typical get request, and it requested this address, so topfizz.php. Here it is, topfizz.php. And if we take a look at these elements, so here is the main table, which we are going to parse and retrieve all this information about every channel in this top feed. For the parser on the backend, I use libraries called cheer.io. Cheer.io. Here it is, this guy. So it could be installed with npm or yarn or whatever you are using or you are going to use. So it's pretty simple, sometimes not so convenient, but at least this is the first library I found for these purposes. And by the way, it looks very similar to jQuery selectors, by the way. Okay. So here is the get request. So we are making a request from our front end. We'll come back here a little bit later. So just keep in mind that we send a request to our backend, to this address, channels list. In this turn, our backend make a request to this top feed. That's why this function is marked like asynchronous, because I would like to get the response from this page synchronously. That's why I place here asynchronous function and await operator here. For the request library, I use Axios. That's a pretty useful library. I highly recommend to use this library. It's well documented and strict typing, and it supports Typescript. So we obtain here just a text with HTML markup. Here we are loading this text using TRIO and obtaining root document. Here I've prepared like a variable to keep all the channels which will being parsed. So let's take a look, and it has this interface like channel. So each channel has the following fields like rank, the number of listeners, like feed name, city where it is situated, state, province, if it has one, country, listen to amount, ICO, and NA. Okay. So first of all, we need to find this library, this table, sorry. So the table is situated here. Where it is? Okay, here. So we go through like from the beginning to this library using this long selector. Like body, table nth last child, tbody tr, td, table, top table, tbody tr. And within this tr there are many of within this tbody there are many trs, like rows, right? And in each row here are the columns, which in its turn contain the information that we want to parse. So in here, for each row in this table, we're loading this tr element with its content. Here I declare the channel data with the same interface, and for each row, for each column in this row, we are going to parse the information it contains. I've decided to divide this into several types of text information here, because as you may notice here, so here is pretty static information like the number of listeners, like feed rank, city, state, province, country, except the third and the last columns, because the third column contains the link to listen to this channel, and the last one is the direct link to listen the specific channel at this airport. So it's definitely obvious that the third and the last column should be treated in something in another way, I would say. Sorry. So let's go through each of these columns. Here is now the number of each column. So not a number actually, but it is the index of each column here. So let's define here field kind and the text value. So in general, we need to parse only the text which lies within each column, within each TD tag, right? If we'll go back here and like inspect element here, so here it is. Just font class and text, font class and text, and the other stuff. So and so on. Except this guy. Here is a ref with a link inside and some name, like feed description. So default will be just a simple text, right? So as for the first and for at least for the first column, like just like a rank. So here is the value of this, and here is a field kind, so it will be rank. Second column is the number of listeners currently. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for some technical issues. Okay, let's continue. So the number of listeners is embraced like with iTag, because it's this guy is in green and color in some italic font. That's why here we change the text value to DI selector and then text, and field kind will be listeners. Next guy is ICO. So ICO stands for a special and unique code of any airport in the world. So this is kind of an ID of any airport. So in order to obtain this, so first of all, we define here that field kind will be a feed name, because we would like to obtain its feed name. This guy, for example. And afterwards, we would like to parse its ICO code. That's why here are two operations. So the first operation is to obtain this feed name, and the second one is to parse ICO code. So we take a link here, and if it's undefined, so we place just an empty string instead of undefined value. So the link will be always defined as string, even it's empty. And we assign to this channel data like or its ICO code or an empty string. So the next column is city, state, province, and country are very straightforward, and we don't need to do anything here except to change our field kind. And the last one column is feed link. So as I've mentioned before, it is for a link which we go to and we can listen. We can listen there. So first of all, we obtain here like a listen to value, like here. Oh, sorry. Inspect element here. Listen to RJO tower, for example, etc. So in this case, it will be like listen to Clags tower, north, south, etc. Then we need to parse this guy. And on-click property here at this link, because along with ICO code, it has so-called mount. So as I said before, ICAO code is not unique among all the different channels at the same airport. But these channels could be differentiated by mount. That's why the first element here will be mount, and the second one is ICO. So we need just the first one because we already know the ICO code here. And here I placed just two regexes, one for ICO, the second one is for mount. And finally we are assigning here a field kind and its value, and pushing this channel to our array of channels data, and then returning, and then we remove the first element, because the first element would be the first element is the header of this table, and we don't need this header. That is why I've placed here splice. We just remove the first element from this channels array, and then we are return status code and JSON data, like with all of our channels. What is happening here? Let's recall that for the state management I use recoil library. So here is a channel list, so-called atom. Atom is the entity of recoil library to keep our application state globally. So in other words, so each component in our application can use these atoms or selectors, avoiding propagation through the properties. Just like imagine if we have several nested components and we need to propagate something from the so upside down, like from the child to its parent and vice versa. So a very straightforward approach is to make props, but imagine if you have 3 or 4 different nesting levels, and it will be like a props hell. That is why here we use a state management, a global state management. So typically each atom consists of a key, so it must be unique, default value, and so effects is for effects are very similar to the React effects, because it does almost the same. It does almost the same. In this case, in case of a trigger, if we are trying to get this value of this atom here, channels list atom, channels list, so we just need to use a getter here. By the way, let's replace this recoil state with use recoil value, because strictly speaking we need just a value here. We do not set up here this list or changing this list, at least for this time. So use recoil value. Okay, perfect. And each time I save, each time I save my source code, our project will be recompiled automatically. So at the point where we want to show our channels list, this trigger will take place and it makes a request to our backend and returns the channels list or returns an empty array. Otherwise, if something goes wrong. Okay, here this channels list will be divided, I would say, into different radio buttons here. Here. And the second thing is on our backend. This is channel stream. We'll go back in several minutes. So what happens if we click on these radio buttons? How these guys are gonna be updated? So each form control here, each radio button has its own on change event. Here it is, on change channel, selected channel. As the value, we place here selected channel rank, because channel rank is unique. It's the feed rank actually. So it changes from 1 to 50. So just imagine we've clicked like here, for example. What happens here? Go to this implementation. So it takes this change event with HTML input element. We obtain a channel rank and searching for this rank in our channels list. Then we set another item, select the channel item. Here it is, with type iChannel. We're setting up this channel, and we would like to get the source for our audio we're going to listen in this case. So setting up the channel gives us this guy, mount. In mount and ICO, we need to get the audio source, as like it is done on this website. So if we take a look at this link, here is some function which takes two arguments, like mount and ICO code. And if we go to this link, we get this address with mount and code. And it helps us to parse this kind of a page for this audio source. Audio source is placed here. This link. So we need to go to this. Page, then find this HTML5 element and grab a link. This is implemented on our server side here. So here we're making a request, handle audio source, this function. So we just put here code and mount, making a post request to our channel stream with these params. Channel stream, these two params, mount and ICO. If they are empty, some of them is empty, so we returning 200, but that request went well, but we don't have any information regarding the audio source. Otherwise, we parsing this address with mount and ICO, returning the data like it was done previously at this endpoint, then loading the URL route with this HTML text data, and then just searching for the audio tag and then get the src attribute. So, and then we are returning just message that everything is okay and status okay, and here is our audio source. So it returns the audio source, and we are returning audio source as string. Then this string will be set into this item, is called audio source item, and we're using set audio source here. It's a pretty simple item here, just a string value. So, and as a result, we are having each time we click on these channels, we got the mount and audio source. So what I would like to do here, so the problem is with this channels list. As it's stated here, this list is updated each minute, right? But here we are getting this top 50 list like only once, just right after our application is loaded, is rendered. I would like to set up a timer which will be able to make a one request per minute to this address in order to update the top 50 channels list. So what we are gonna do, first of all, we need to save this function because we are going to reuse it within our application in other place, and just remove this effect. We don't need. Yes, it should disappear. Correct. It should disappear. So nothing bad has happened here. But we need to place this function somewhere here. So let's do this thing, like asynchronous function get channels list, and place it here. We don't need like set self function because it came from our item. So, and here we should set up our channels list. So set channels list. Then we change here from recoil value to use recoil state. So use recoil state returns two instances. First, this is the value of the item, of any particular item itself. And the second is the setter for this item. So setter is just a function which takes a value as an argument and sets this item for us. So use recoil state. And here we doing this, set channels list. And the same here, set an empty channels list. So the first step is done, and the second step we have to do here is implement timeout function. Let's do this. Let's try to use a plain React use effect. So effect callback is looks like this, and it is very important to avoid an infinite loop of the updates. It may so the second argument of the use effect causes, the lack of the second argument causes the infinite loop of updates. Because the second argument is for the dependency list. So in dependency list, we don't need one. We just place here timeout function. I'm not sure I can place here get channels list. Milliseconds, so each minute. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, let's place here just, sorry, like 5 seconds. Just for the test. It works. So each 5 seconds it should update this channels list. And by the way, guys, if you like the stream and like this, you know, the kind of exchanging the information, the knowledge, so please click on the thumbs up and subscribe. I won't eat all of your time. Okay, let's do something. It will be done once, I guess. So we need just a set timeout, right? Okay, let's take a look. Once the timer expires. We don't need once, we don't periodically. Repeatedly calls a function with a code snippet with a fixed time delay between each call. Whoa. Whoa. This guy. Yeah, for sure. So set interval. Set interval. Here will be our handler, right? Yeah, callback. And let's put here like 10 seconds. Should work. And I would like to not to wait for 1 minute while when page is already loaded and rendered. That's why I put here, I'm gonna put here this call. So when our page is loaded, will be loaded. First of all, React will take a look at this section and execute this function first. Since it is asynchronous, that's why these two guys will be executed at the same time, almost at the same time. So it will update our channels list, and then it will set up our interval to constantly update our channels list each 10 seconds. Okay, for the test, 5 seconds. Okay, let's go. First, second, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Cool. So we can put here 1 minute and we are done. It calls this function too often. Maybe I forgot how to convert milliseconds to seconds. Okay, let's double check. Okay, seconds, 60 seconds, 60,000 milliseconds. That's okay. I don't know. Here, by the way, what I've mentioned before, like constantly updating this stuff, so we don't need to do so. Why doesn't keep 60 seconds period? That's the question. Let's wait for 1 minute. I think it works correct right now. I'm not sure for 100%, but I think so. Yeah. Correct. It updates each time I click here. Not good. That's not good. Yeah, it relates to like updating all the list because it will be kind of re-rendered, I guess. But it shouldn't work in this way, actually. Okay. Pretty strange things. Okay, if we'll go back to like to the effects here, and remove this. What will happen in this case? Okay, yeah. Once we get the channels list. Oh, sorry, that's the channels list and channel stream. That's why. My bad. For sure. Okay, let's do that again. Remove here, uncomment here, and okay, channels list. Good. Channel stream. Because channel stream is for obtaining this guy, the audio source. Okay. Let's just wait for 1 minute. By the way, give me a short break, guys, okay? And be right back in literally 3 minutes, okay? Okay. Okay, I'm back. So we're going to continue and check this out. It seems it works. It works well. So each 60 seconds period, we are updating this list, right? I think so. Perfect. So let's go back to the second column and let's implement some. Let's utilize our audio source. But before that, I would like to put some, some margin here and here. Okay, let's do that. Here's the box with the channel list. So here, put box here, SX and margin top, like 4. One relative units, and here put here something like a header h4. Okay, let's do with typography h4 and channels list. Oh, probably h5 maybe. Yeah, cool. Great. I don't know how it will be. Will it be fancy or not? But I would like to make a shadow. I don't know. Yeah, box shadow. And just, I don't remember the properties, unfortunately. Okay, let's Google this. Okay, box shadow. Okay. Top right, bottom. Okay. Zero, zero, bottom 15, left 0, color will be black. Oh. Okay. Looks horrible. Yeah, I know. Okay, bad idea. Maybe later. And the same we are going to do with this guy. So let's put these two guys into another box. And let's place here the same margin from the top element. Okay. But I think it might be better to do here kind of a title. Listen to the and let's put here a channel name, right? So select a channel. It has the property listen to. Let's remove this one. Feed name, just feed name. Cool. And here, instead of audio source, this text, we're gonna place here an audio. Okay, HTML5 audio. Just kind of okay, box audio source will be this guy. Controls. Let's give it a try. Okay, here it is. Great. So probably we can try to listen to this. Let me mute my music for a while. And okay, this could be more chatty than the previous one. Generally, it works great. So let's do some magic. Okay, controls in autoplay. Controls, autoplay, audio. Cool. What else? Not muted. Okay. And the other feature, on the base of our ICO code, we can get the airport weather. But before this, I would like to change our background color to make it more darker, I would say. Okay, let's go back to our Git control and just fix our changes first of all. Okay, here should be like dev JSON middleware and channel stream endpoint. What we've done here, I've added a Lodash library for just in case. Okay. Lodash. Then I did some styling with invisible scroll here. Okay, we can make a style sheet for this scroll a little bit later, but okay, here just a selected channel atom, okay. Select channel atom here. Channel list atom update. I would say it would be a fix. Then here, main layout, channels list and what else? What else? And audio source. Cool. Then we go back to here and just make the following changes. So background will be just black. Or let's take a look at material colors. Something a little bit darker than white. Maybe this guy. Okay. Then color of our text could be, I don't know, gray. Contrast. Okay, better. Okay, to retrieve the weather regarding of the selected channel. Oh, by the way, something went wrong. What's happened? I don't know. Okay. And by the way, if you may notice, each time we update this list once per minute, so our active channel stays the same, and it remains untouched, right? Because we are using here items in our global state, so any update of our channels list won't affect our current selected channel, right? Because these guys are independent in this case. Okay. Here is another website, aviationweather.gov. So it accepts as for the IDs, like the code of the airport. So we are gonna make another endpoint. So first of all, let's do a commit here. So just styling, kind of. Then let's go to our server and let's implement another endpoint, like get, no, post. It will be a post. Weather. Okay, here we should receive only a code. Then if our code, if if it is undefined or it is empty, then we should return like status 200 baht. Weather will be NA, message empty parameters, ICO, and status will be error, right? So otherwise, let's receive our HTML data here from this website. Then 200 status in JSON will be like okay, and here okay. And here, for the test purposes, we just type here a console output just to double check. Then we should recompile our server and make a request on our front end. So this is a get channels list, and then it will be same function get weather. Get weather conditions. Axios post. Our server address here, but instead of channels list, we're gonna put here weather. Then param will be select the channel. So, and if it will be undefined, place here an empty string. Weather data. Post, then and let's await for the response. Axios response, then we just return data. Oh no, no. Oh, why not? And let's create like another atom. Okay, will be the same. Default value will be an empty object. Then let's create weather data. So temperature, dew point, pressure. Okay. Temperature string. Winds string. And all these fields for sure should be optional. dew point pressure, dew point pressure. What else? Visibility, ceiling, clouds. Okay, done. So we're going to use this item to keep our weather application state globally. So await, just await. It returns void. So we're gonna set here our atom value. So const weather data, set weather data. Use recoil state, weather data, weather atom. So set weather data. By the way, that's not a good practice to leave all the Axios requests without catch block. But in this case, who cares, right? So let's do it this way and set weather data like our data weather as weather data. Okay, it works. No errors so far. Good. Then we should place this function somewhere to call each time we select the channel, right? So by the way, we can define an argument here, like pick from channel just SEO code. Then, and let's put a default value here. SEO will be an empty string. In here we just put param. So get weather conditions. And here we put channel SEO. If it's undefined, we put here. Oh, sorry, not a string, but this way. And probably we can rearrange the handle audio source in the same manner like it was done for the weather. So it returns, but in this case we can do this way. No returns. Just set audio source. And same for this case, but an empty string. And generally it should work. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, let's take a look at our output here. Here is the output of the whole page of this website. So it works. Let's restart our server. And do another test. It works. Cool. So the other step, we should parse this page at our backend here. So let's define here Cheerio root. And let's go for HTML. Okay. What we can catch here. So we need here something very specific. Is it the only one table here? I think so. Good news for us. So table, tbody, and then trs. Okay. So for each row in this table, let's load our HTML. And then let's take a look what we are having here. Clear yarn dev, refresh and channel. Great. We are having here the weather data. Perfect. TD1, TD2. So the first, the second. Okay, great. So I think that's pretty much enough for today. Okay, thanks for watching. So leave your comments here or reach me out directly. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click on the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel in order to support the other streams, and I hope there will be much more interesting content on this channel. So again, thanks for watching. Have a good time, have a good weekend, and see you around very soon. Bye.